It's a question we like asking a lot of artists. I mean, think about it. Some people want to ask, but they're shy to ask. And I go, hey man, did you ever splurge? We asked Mike Reno of Loverboy. I'm John Beaudin. This is Rock History Music. Asking an artist if they've ever splurged will sometimes give you a surprising answer. Some people say, oh, I bought a fish farm or I bought a new skidoo. But the rockers who know how to, let's just say, live the lifestyle, a when in Rome kind of thing, well, they learn to splurge. We asked Mike Reno of Loverboy. Did you ever splurge? I mean, I asked Peter Beckett, a player, I said, well, you ever, he said, oh yeah, I had the Porsches and stuff like that. But he stopped me and went, you know what? I got my best car right now. I said, what? He says, I got a Dodge Ram. It's the best vehicle I've ever had in my life. I said, wow, I didn't expect that answer. But did you ever splurge being a rock star with a big check or anything?
Absolutely. What are you, crazy?
Well, like what'd you buy?
Well, I remember I bought a house in West Vancouver that was probably worth about $5 million, and I told the guy I'll give you 500,000 for it. And the guy went, okay. And the realtor went, don't talk money. Let me do all the talking about money. I said, that's okay. I already did the deal. He's taking my check for 500,000, and it turns out he wanted to sell it cheap because he had to give the money to his wife.
Is this west or right of British properties? Like what area would that have been?
Well, if you're on the bridge looking at British properties, it would have been to the left, out towards Horseshoe Bay.
Oh, wow. Nice area.
Right, and right on the water. It was beautiful. And I stayed there for 25 years. I liked it over there. I'm now in the other part of town. I'm down by White Rock right now. Yeah. But anyways, I did some, you know what, I never thought about it at the time, but I really like the style of the, the old Porsche Speedsters, that look like, so I ended up buying one. And it was for sale in the middle of, it was the middle of winter in Minnesota. I found it, I heard about it. So I phoned this lady and I said, I'll take it. I'll come and get it. And I went and got it, put it all the pieces in a truck and drove it back. And then took a couple of years to put it back together with this guy I knew. And I still have that car today, 42 years later.
Are they the ones that looked like a sort of like a Carmen Ghia, but not really? They're not like that.
Remember the movie Top Gun when the lady jumped in that black Porsche chased? That's basically the car. And it turns out it was a Porsche Carrera GT, which I found out recently is far and few between. They built them and sold them only to race car drivers. I don't know. It's just a fluky thing that I ended up with it, but it's in pristine condition. And it's out of this world expensive, apparently. It's like probably one of the top rated, cars for now. So I made a good investment there. But all I really liked, I like the style of it. And now I just love it. I drive it all the time. And that's, that's kind of a splurge. But back then, I think it was 20 grand. I think it's worth a little more than that now, maybe in the.
Yeah. And when I lived in Vancouver, I used to see a guy with a red Cobra. He had long blonde hair, and I used to always say, "Is that Vince Neil?" Do you know anybody who lived in Vancouver in the 90s had a red Cobra? I've never asked anyone. You're the first guy, because I'd see him down on Denman a lot and going up Robsonstrasse, as we used to call it.
You sure it was a red Corvette?
No, it was a Cobra. I remember it was a Cobra because.
Brian McLeod had a beautiful red Corvette. He lived down there. He lived down at the beach or at the marina. And he had the Corvette. That was a cool old Corvette, red, of course. And he used to have streaked blondish brown hair and drive around all the time. Everybody said, that's Brian McLeod. I was thinking, I don't think I knew anybody with the Cobra. Those are nice cars. I kind of had a bunch of cars at one time. I was a bit of a collector. I got into collector. I had a Morgan. I had a 280 SL convertible Mercedes. I had a couple of different Porsches over the years. It's just Porsche seemed to be my favorite out of the bunch. I still have a few.
What car surprised you the most of all those cars when you actually owned it? It was under your name. What car surprised you the most?
The 930 Turbo, the 1981 930 Turbo. It was like a Learjet. When you took off, it threw you back in the seat. You could barely keep your head on the stick shift. It was like, it was fast. It was turbocharged. It was unbelievable. But 6-cylinder, It's like 500 horsepower. This back in 1980, 81, 82. That was a surprising car. And I think I probably would have killed myself if I kept it. I ended up kind of mellowing out from the speed demons,
Okay, you're in a doctor's office, and some guy, not because he recognizes you, let's just put it that way. You're in a doctor's office, and some guy looks across and he says, so he doesn't ask you why you're there. He says, so like, what do you do? What do you say when there's a stranger who just happens, not because he recognizes you, remember that, but what do you say to him? What do you do? What do you say?
Well, my instant answer would be, I'm a singer in an 80s rock band that you may have heard of.
And the next question is, what song?
Really? What's band? And I say Loverboy, and they just go crazy. They go out of their mind. They go, oh my God, no way.
You're that guy?
You're that guy. I go, well, I'm now 65, but I am that guy.
Well, what's the question people ask you when you're running into people and they recognize you? Is there a certain, I mean, because when I always ask people, okay, I'm talking to Mike Reno. Do you have any questions for whoever I interview? I used to not do that because I think people would think I'm not doing my research. I'm a research pig. So I'm okay with asking that. But a lot of people are going like, oh, can you ask him if the kid's still hot tonight? I'm going, oh, okay, yeah, that's right. But you must get stuff like that, like just a generic kind of joke question.
Hey, listen, I'm just loving every minute of it, man.
Why I oughta. If you want to see the entire interview, it's at our Canadian channel. The link is right on the top of the description of this video at Rock History Canada. Find it right on the bottom. Right down there as well, you can subscribe to our channel and like our video, comment on it, and make sure you share our videos. We'd appreciate that. I'm John Beaudin. This is Rock History Music. Take care of yourself.